So the other day on October 1st, one of the last final Star Wars sets of the year, the Gingerbread AT-AT. The only Christmas set this year other than the Advent calendar, of course. And I personally think this might be the best LEGO Star Wars Christmas thing we've ever gotten. But the real question today is $60. Is it worth it? While I impulse buy, I wanted to give y'all the real teller. 700 pieces, only one figure though? It's a little bit questionable considering last Christmas one had 3 figures. 4 if you count the pork. But let's hop right into it. Let's go over the Gingerbread AT-AT. But before we get in the video, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. There's a new hype feature. Click the hype button. Everything helps the channel, and I really appreciate y'all for checking me out. Let's start with the one figure that is in this set. And this is indeed one of my favorite LEGO Star Wars figures of the year. And on top of that, probably, yeah, most definitely my favorite Star Wars Christmas figure they've ever done. Gingerbread Vader. The figure has some nice back printing and some beautiful front printing that just makes Vader's layout on his armor look exactly like frosting on a cookie. One thing I will say, and I was a little surprised about, is the fact that the head is just regular gingerbread color, which is perfectly fine for this figure. No need for extra detailing. He comes with his lightsaber, he comes with a cookie, but they really did go all out when it comes to the cape. White on the inside, so it has sort of this look. Sucks that it's a little bit see-through, but I think just the white on the inside would look great. But the outside, with this beautiful cookie design, probably one of the coolest capes LEGO Star Wars has ever gotten. So the one figure in this set, it's really dang good. I also real quick wanted to show off what I think are the top 3 of the Christmas figures. Funny enough, 2 of them are Vader. But when it comes to the Christmas figures, you want them to be interesting. Snowman Chewbacca with the candy cane bandolier, Vader in a normal Christmas outfit, and then a gingerbread Vader. Of course, this one's just a little bit better because it has the new molds and stuff, but all these figures do something right when it comes to the Christmas figures. We need to really stop with the Christmas sweaters. People love the ugly sweaters way too much. But personally for me, I think they're an infection on LEGO Star Wars Christmas stuff. So let's hop into this cute little guy. You got a bunch of great gingerbread detailing around the side. One of my personal favorites are the candy canes for the little blasters in the front. Some of these little Christmas lights that just stream across it. I think all the little detailing on the outside to make it look like a gingerbread house is very good. One thing I have a little complaint about, and something I think could have been fixed pretty easily, is that the head does not move. It would be nice maybe to have the head tilted, because that's how I always display my AT-ATs, just head slightly tilted and more, because you always display it a little bit on the side, head facing. At least that's just how I display my AT-ATs. Otherwise, got some good posability in the legs. One thing I did find really interesting is the feet, because they're almost like cakes with the frosting dripping down, some little bows, some little sprinkles on it. Very good on the feet. And then there's technically 2 insides of this set. The one inside is the main one you're going to be looking at. And I think if you are ever going to display this set, you would definitely have it like this. Because in the back, there's the presents, but the main section is this little fireplace. You see the stockings, you see the wreath, you see the fire, and a little seat for your Santa Vader. Of course, you gotta take off his lightsaber, and actually, is there even a place to put his lightsaber? Yes, there is. I didn't actually realize that. There's a little clip up on the inside here that allows you to keep his lightsaber in there. Very nice. And of course, he has his, I'm guessing this Cocoa, because that would make sense for the season. He's got his cookie. So very, very nice place to put him inside here. One other thing I will say is that you have to have the lightsaber all the way down, or else the entire side just does not close. So that's a little annoying, but hey, it technically does fit. But my issue really does come down with the front of the head, because that's not the issue. The issue comes down with the fact that it technically can open up, and there technically is a cockpit for a pilot. The problem is, you made the cockpit, so of course you're going to want to put your figure in it. And as you can see, you can't close the cockpit with the person in it. And this is a double-edged sword, right? Because if the head didn't have a way to put a pilot in it, I would definitely be saying, why can't you go into the head and put a pilot in it? But Now I'm sitting there going, you can't close the head with a person inside of it. So it is a double-edged sword. It is a lose-lose. There is no way to put the Vader helmet like laying back. It's just something that they added that I guess it's the best you can get. But if you wanted to display your Vader sitting inside the front of it, you're really going to display it with the front facing up? I don't know about that. Personally, that's not how I do it. And that would really be an issue if there wasn't the fact that you can just have them on the inside. They gave you one figure, they gave you a place for one figure. That should be enough. But other than that, there's not a whole lot more to this set. This set is really more of a place to just kind of display on the Christmas section of your display whenever the season rolls around. But when it comes to Christmas displays, this is the best Christmas Star Wars display you can get, and I personally think this is the best Christmas Star Wars figure there is as well. I also thought it was indeed worth it to show off the size differences between these guys, because when you look at the gingerbread one, it is the same size as most of the AT-AT's legs. For the size, I think it is perfect, but for some people, I think it could be a little bit of an issue because of the price point. You would kind of maybe hope that something at $60, 700 pieces, would be a bit taller, because this one from 2010, I don't think is too far off when it comes to the piece point. I think this is probably a 900 piece one. I'll write it on screen right now what it actually is. I don't know it off the top of my head. The real thing is, do you really want an AT-AT gingerbread to be that size? Because that sounds absurd. And then you already realize with all the detailing, that would be like a $180, $200 set. At that point, you'd maybe hope that this would cost more, but you'd also hope there'd be way more figures. So for me, when it comes to the size, I think it's very quaint, very cute, and it does work very well with what you'd want. So now let's answer the question, is it worth retail? $60. And personally, I agree. But it's also because when you're looking at it, you see that it's like back order already. This thing's going to sell out. You're not going to find this on sale. So is it worth picking up at the end of the day? And I think, yeah, very much so. If you like the Christmas season, of course, because if you don't care about Christmas or the festivities, then of course you're not going to care about this set. But if you're even thinking like, oh, I want to get this at some point, get it now, because a 2-month lifespan on this is not long enough. You are going to regret it. That Gingerbread Vader is one of my favorite figures of the year. The Gingerbread AT-AT is very cute. It's the perfect size it needs to be. Very few complaints about this set, so for me, I say pick it up. But let me know what you think. Did you pick it up? Did you think it was worth it? Not the longest review on this one today, but it's also because when you look at it, you kind of see what you get. But that's all I got to say today. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'm out. Peace.